Thanks. That was awesome. I'm so missing the thundering applause, the worship feel when we're all together. Ah. So this is how I took my notes from my sermon this week on a big old heart. Look at that. There's no liberation except for community. I was super tempted to throw away everything that I'd written and just talk to you. Just talk to you. Because this is a day all about heart. And I think I may. I'm just going to put aside these 19 pages. Ha ha! So, I will share this week was another adventure in solo pandemic parenting. For those caring for children or others in your home or in your heart and your family, it's a thing right now. My heart goes out to you. But as the weather turned glorious this week, I hope everyone got a chance to go outside. It was just spectacular to start feeling the sun, feeling the weather, feeling spring and hope and life and love coming out. And so my youngest, Thane, who's in 6th grade, he decided he wanted to go on an adventure. And I remembered an exercise that Soul Matters had last year. That's part of our small group ministry and our worship program here at UCR. Soul Matters had an exercise called the left, right, or straight. So Thane and I got in the car, and at every intersection, he got to decide left, right, or straight. If you've never tried it, it is a lot of fun. We had a couple hours. Why not? Left, right, or straight? We ended up in DuPont Circle. We ended up down by the Kennedy Center. And then we ended up at Tyson's Corner. It was so fun. It was absolutely fun. And all the things that I got to share with him, I grew up in this area, so I got to share with him memories all over DC and parts of Northern Virginia and Bethesda, and I got to share some history, of course, because every lesson every moment is a teachable moment. And we just lived life. And it was people out and about, those outdoor cafes that the restaurants have, just having coffee on a beautiful afternoon. It was people out with their dogs, everyone's masked. Wonderful to see that. And Thane was just so happy. And at one point I asked him if he wanted to listen to some music, and he said, "No, I just want to talk. I just want to talk to you." And my heart just melted. We felt happy and free and connected to the world and each other. And it made me think a lot about this Sunday, how much we need each other. We need community. We need people. We need connection and life. And I've been thinking a lot about what it means to be a people. We say that a lot. We are a people of covenant. We're a people. And since the beginning of the pandemic, what it means to be a people has been on my mind. And there's this meme going around, perhaps you've seen it, with church doors and faith community doors closing, shutting all across the world. It's time for us to show that faith is not about a building, but it's about a people. And we have proven this time and time and time again. I see Carla's note about getting your kids to say, "I just want to talk to you." It kind of blew me away. And as I said last week, we are still a we. We are a we. We are a people that are still here. I'm going to make me cry again. Because there is so much love here. Absolutely stunning amounts of love, because that's what we do. As Elsa and I were talking about this Sunday, her setup was, we've got this, we've got you, we've got each other. And my response is, because that's what we do. That is who we are. It is the essence of who we are and how we are together. Now, a lot of us have been doing UU Lent, sharing about a spiritual theme each day, building up to Easter. And one of the pictures, I'll grab pictures and things that kind of connect with me or make my heart sing or break my heart. And this one picture I saw was someone had put this on the side of a building. The essence of revolution is love. Isn't that clever? Revolution begins with love. Revolution begins with love. The love that is here in this place, the love that we feel connected to each other. And what I'm going to skip over here is I went back and I read the 60th, UECR's 60th anniversary history that Maud McGovern put together 5 years ago. We're in our 65th year. Amazing. I reread the history and I was going to share back with you. This congregation started with 12 people, 5 or 6 couples with an idea, with a spark, with a hope, with a dream. 5 or 6 couples back in 1956 who said, you know, let's do our own thing. And look what we've built. Look what you've built in now 65 years. That just grew with our founders coming together and saying, we are going to be a we. So I know someone's probably going to find it on the UCR webpage and post the link there. See, Bill, you're so good. Y'all are so good. Y'all hold me amazingly. I encourage you to go back and read the history because it speaks to what people out of love, out of prophecy, out of commitment can turn the world and bring about revolution. So I'm going to skip around a little bit, and that all started with an idea. And the reason why I dug into the history was not so much to just appreciate the written history of this congregation, but it was also to think about the echoes of impact that all of those people, all of you, have in our world. And Elsa, I'm looking at you. Elsa and I had a conversation recently, and she shared with me all the things that she lives out in her world, in her job, in her service. And I'm gonna ask Elsa to brag on herself at one point, because our faith inspires people in our lives, in our families, in our communities, in our homes. And that is a part of the living legacy of this congregation that isn't captured in just telling our story. The heart of this congregation is service. Love is our sacrament. Love is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. And that service has been to the world. That service has changed the world as we live our principles. Inspired by relationships and connections, the worship services, and the many deep conversations here. So Audre Lorde reminds us that there is no liberation. There is no liberation without community. And liberation to us is being a beacon of justice and hope in the world. Liberation to us is the ever-evolving change in what it means to be a full human in our society. It was progressive faiths like ours that first ordained women. It was progressive faiths like ours that first ordained queer, lesbian, bisexual, and trans people. It was progressive faiths like ours that moved to the streets again and again and proclaim Black Lives Matter and proclaim climate justice now and demand accountability and reform in our criminal justice system. It is us showing up in the world, living our faiths and values that brings about change. It is progressive faiths like ours that welcome the stranger, advocate for immigrants and those vulnerable in our midst. It is progressive faiths like ours that proclaim in the world that a better world is possible. And it starts right here, right now, with us. So at times like this, I feel like it's my privilege and responsibility to mirror back to you who we are together. And on this Canvas Sunday, as you are declaring your commitment to this beloved community, I want to share with you why I said yes. Why I said yes to you, why I said yes to us. I'll tell you about my interview to be hired as your assistant minister, gosh, over 6 years ago now. I arrived here on campus and saw three things that were signs to me as to why UCR is such a special place. First, and I've told this story many times, I feel like, I saw the solar panels. The solar panels. And I don't think at that point I had really seen a lot of congregations that had solar panels on their roofs. And I thought, wow, these people are living our values in a big way. Second, and this will make Sherry smile, I saw the art installation in the hallways. And Chandra Shekhar's work moved my heart. And just experiencing the art, that our UCR values, our faith values, that spiritual art was so core to how we exist in a space together, it just made my heart soar. And third, I saw the new-ish sanctuary. So I've shared before that when I was a child growing up at our King congregation at River Road Unitarian Congregation in Bethesda, every year the RE program would put on a play based on UU values and principles, and we would take it to our King congregations around the DMV area. So the first time I came to Rockville, I think I was about 8 or maybe 9 or 10. And the sanctuary was still Founders Hall. So when I arrived that day and saw the sanctuary, I instantly appreciated the dedication, the vision, the heart, the resources, the love that went into making more room, building towards the future, our future, my future, that made this day possible. And then I fell in love with you. Every week, something special happens that confirms for me why UCR is such a special place. I watch as people connect, as you support and care and love each other. And it happened even last night, and I hope it's okay to share this. And I was thinking about it really last night because it planted a seed in my heart as to how we thrive and grow in community. We had a conversation around the book Protest Kitchen, and it's living our values through every bite, every dollar is an expression of our faith. So choosing to perhaps eat vegetarian or vegan, or being mindful about how we consume as a reflection of our values. And Suzanne Correa was on the line, and she just shared that she had raspberry bushes to share. But there's two important things about that that really stuck with me. One, those raspberry bushes came from Suzanne's grandmother. And so there's generations that have been fed and nourished by these raspberry bush. And second, 2 other families are now going to get those raspberry bushes. And I just thought, how beautiful. That's not just legacy, but it's connection. That is the essence of community, being grateful for our past, the gifts that we have been given, and extending our love and resources and gifts forward to make more abundance for others possible. So my beloved people, I know we're running a little bit late. I apologize. My beloved people, I ask you to share. What makes this place so special for you? I'm going to ask you to list in the chat. So we often save the chat and we share back often. So if you'll take a moment and list, what is it that makes this congregation so special? Every revolution starts with, Regina, I love you. You're amazing. Every revolution starts with an idea. Every revolution starts with love. And every program, committee, project starts with an idea. And they don't usually come from the minister or the staff. It's you. It's you that makes this beloved community so special. Like the UU Get Out the Vote project, like Bonfire and the Manichees and all of our amazing music programs, like Rainbow Youth Alliance that for now years, I see Stephanie, has been a shelter and a safe haven for our LGBTQIA children and youth. amazing that has been a community program and ministry. Like our Partner Plate program that has now been able to provide our resources to community programs week after week, showing our love. Like Emerson's People of Heart coming together for a reflective congregation, like the Children's Grow Garden, which is amazing. I'm so excited for the spring, and it's getting even bigger and better, and so much more. Yes, weekly meditation. If you wanted to take a look and see what inspires people to know that this is a really special place, because that's what we do. Just look at that. Look at that. The many opportunities to learn and grow. Thank you, Steve. Of course, Antonio, for feeding energy, love, and commitment here, because that's what we do. Because we've got this. My beloved people, we've got this. We are a people that dream big. And we are bringing that collective liberation that we all seek to our hearts, to our homes, to our world, and to this place that is not a place. It's this beautiful, amazing campus, but this place as in that connection, that virtual, that spiritual connection that thrives because we are a people. You know what? I believe in this beloved community, which is why I said yes. I believe that we change lives, we save lives, we transform lives, and I believe in our future together. So now, if you have your pledge card handy, or if you need one, if you want to print one out from the website, I invite you to take it out and just take a moment and look at everything that everyone has shared. And will you join our beloved UUCR kin and declare your commitment, your covenant to our future together? Take a moment and receive deeply what these beloved people mean to you and how you are the heart of our future together. Our children are the heart of our future together as we're raising those activist kids. And if everyone does their part, no matter the size of your financial pledge or your pledge of time and heart, I know, my beloved people, I know that we can transform the world. I'm just going to claim it because that's what we do. Amen. And blessed be.